very strong-minded men. And I think they deserve our thanks and appreciation. It's not easy. I wouldn't want to be going to bed this last month with the pressure that's been on Gloria's head. And I'm very empathetic to that. I may not agree with her, and we've had our discussions, and I think in certain instances that she should have been more forceful and not allowed other people to have the last word, but I respect her. I mean, the biggest thing I respect her for is closing down the construction committee when it became obvious to her in her position that the construction committee was trying to override her participation and override the participation of the other board members. So it was a gutsy thing to do, and I think she deserves a lot of credit for it, and I admire her for it. And it goes for all the women. Frances Mesereau is...
women?
Well, we're talking about the females on the board. We're allowed to distinguish. I'm making a distinction. Then I can give...
talking about prejudice.
Well, that's not the case, but anyway, I think they're wonderful. I appreciate what they've done, and I wish in this case, in the case of Brian, they wouldn't have folded. The recall. As I was saying, the recall is very significant, and it should only be used very circumspectly when there's something obvious or something in question, you know? And I think we have certain situations like that now that we could definitely consider certain people, but I certainly don't think in mass, as my friend Mr. Samuel has suggested. I think you have to think individually about the people and see how they've been elected and see what they've done. And if somebody has done something that is recallable, then I think they deserve to be recalled. Okay, that's really the whole recall. No, there was, okay, I have one other thought, if I may. One other thought, and then I'm done, you're rid of me. Okay? I believe, and I really sincerely believe, that every board member, anybody that wants to be on the board, should be willing to sign a pledge. And the pledge would go something like this. I have not and will not profit monetarily from my service as a member of the IV Board of Directors. And that's half of it. That's only half of it. Okay? And I am willing to take a polygraph test if any of my actions come into question with this pledge. Okay? I think it's fair. I was going to go around and I was going to ask each board member if they would sign a pledge like that. I have asked certain board members independently if they would, and I got positive responses that they would. But I'm not going to do that as I thought I would and ask them now. I'm just throwing it out to you. As owners, I think that it's something that you could have a referendum on, or something that I don't know how Scott can tell us how it would be done, but I think it's something that we owners should require of board members. Board members don't have to serve if they don't want to, but if they want to serve, we want to know that they are following the rules, and the rules indicate that board members can't. I don't even agree with that. I see nothing wrong personally if someone is working like Gloria's working, giving her a Cadillac like that pink Cadillac, whatever that. I don't. But you're not allowed to. Okay, so I think someone working as hard as she is deserves something, but it's not allowed. They know it in advance when they run, so they should be able to sign a pledge. Yes, ma'am. Come on up front here.
Well, I think everyone can hear me. My name is Alice Large, and I have lived here about 10 years now. I have seen several boards, some good, some not so good. But I know one thing, and I said this to Brad after a meeting. I know what I know. And we all know what we know. We know what we see. You may not understand everything, but you know what you see. We will never get along, we will never get ahead if we throw out everything and think we're going to start all over again. Our best bet is to incorporate our 3 new members, join in with the present board, and work for the benefit of the village.
And I say amen to that. It's a wonderful idea, and I think we ought to find out how to accomplish that. Bob, you've had a number of... Go ahead, Steve. What do you want? Come on up, Steve. We'd like to see you in the front.
I just want to say something about Clyde Bates, Joe Frederick, Gloria Gershkoff, Marvin Toll, Phoebe Cohen, Colette Francis. I'm talking about the current board. A number of people have been relentless in their attacks against this board. Now, if you want to attack them because they've done this wrong and they've done that wrong and that some of them don't know how to read contracts or this or that, that's one thing. But I have worked with every one of these people on and off the board. And you cannot attack them on the basis of their integrity. These people are honest. They love this village, every single one of them. And that's all I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to help you out on this one, Jerry. No, this is in your favor. First off, a recall can be had. This is state. It's statute 718212. A recall can be had by any unit owner for no reason at all, which simplifies it. If I don't like the color of the shirt you're wearing, I can have you recalled, provided a majority plus one supports me. And it ain't easy to get that, but that's how simple it is. As far as your request that a board member sign a document, there are many things that are very important about what a board member should be. They should have knowledge of the law. A board meeting has to be conducted in a manner, business has to be conducted in a manner that a board member must know about. The state requires one thing, that the board member not be a convicted felon who has been reprieved. And that's it. You don't even have to live here to be a board member here. Believe that one or not, but it happens to be true. You can look it up in the state statutes. You can challenge anybody you want. I wanted to instill a rule into our docs that every board member must at least, or potential board member, must at least participate in a class given by the Ombudsman's office, which familiarizes the board members with their responsibilities to the job and to the unit owner. It also says what the unit owner's responsibility is to the board, because it is a two-way street. Couldn't do it, because there is only one rule to have a board member, that he is not a convicted felon who has had a reprieve. Other than that, anybody can do it. What the state statutes do say is that every board member has a fiduciary responsibility. It doesn't say thou shalt not steal. It does say, our condo docs and the state law says that a board member may be an officer of a corporation that does business with the board. Now, if you want to interpret that as somebody making a profit off of the board, go ahead. But if a board member is running a business that the association needs, why can't his company make a bid on it? There is nothing that can stop him from doing it, okay?
Very cool.
Well, first, I just wanted to thank Jerry. I think this was a very enlightening evening. But as far as your idea goes, I would suggest, and I know the three of us are willing to put our hand on the Bible and say, we swear to it. Let's poll everyone that's here now. I have no problem with that.
Well, I already polled Gloria. Gloria said she would. And I already polled Frances, and she said that she would. And I already polled Paul Pickus, and he said that he would. So I did. Why? Yeah. Again, I didn't want to get into that. But I really think it's a good idea. I mean, I don't know the legalities of it. I didn't inquire about it, whether you can do it or you can't do it. But maybe Marvin knows. Where is the other microphone, by the way? We got to get back the other mic. Where? You absconding with the mic?
It's on our table all week.
As far as the recall is concerned, we've just been through a rather unsavory propaganda campaign just prior to the election. And Mr. Samuels and Stewart and Paul are now members of the board. Two of those members are now on committees. Scott did not get his way. Everybody knows he wants to be president, and he was not voted president. So, but the other two have. There's another rumor around. I'll address it. There was a big rumor that somebody was going to retire from the board, and I was going to be put onto the board and made president and all that. It wasn't true then. It's not true now. I said publicly and privately I did not want to be president. I did not want to be president. I do not want to be president. And just, that's the way it is. Okay, back to the recall. Those three members are now part of the board. Paul is a member of one or more committees. Stewart is part of the committee. I just put the challenge to you, Scott. You didn't get everything you want. Maybe you got some of what you want. Be a man, be a mensch. Stop all this recall baloney. Participate, cooperate. Let's move forward from this point on to the betterment of these countries.
All righty, look, folks. Anybody else have anything to say about the recall?
It has precedence.
It does. We know that. And it was mentioned earlier. It's happened before. I'm only aware of the more recent case. But listen, I didn't know what to expect tonight. And of course, my socks were knocked off when Brian wasn't coming, and I spent all the time with him and did a lot of work with him, and I didn't know how to proceed. But I'm very happy with the way it worked out, and I appreciate your coming. We have refreshments. So if you're interested, and I told the young lady not to have donuts. I told Susie not to have donuts, so we should have something better than donuts.